Hello everybody and welcome again to another video of basic fishing. For today's video I am going to be doing an unusual video. Now everyone would know that over the last 6 years on my YouTube channel I have been doing a lot of progressing my fishing into surfcasting, and I have used a lot of different setups since then, and now I'm going to be sharing with everybody my most advanced setups that I have available with me. So everyone would know I used to have that white Veritas rod of the Shimano Aerolex reel. I consider that to be my intermediate setups, but now I've changed, as you can see here. Now let's go with my first setup. So yeah, this is my first setup here. I consider this to be my light tackle setup, but as you can see, that's my Shadow X surf rod, 13-foot 6, 3-piece, 10 to 15 kilos, 2 to 5 ounces, matched with a Beastmaster 10,000 reel. Now this I consider to be my light tackle rod, and what I like about this rod is that one, it's very strong. Like, it has a bit of a flex though, so that no matter how much the fish is bending the rod, it still has a bit of a flex to it, so that extra flexibility gives me the advantage, especially when the fish is shaking his head trying to get itself free. It's also profiles quite thin as well, which is what I like about it as well. The reel is not exactly that sophisticated, but it's comfortable to use, because the last thing I want to use with this setup is cast far and hook onto a big fish by accident, fight for it for hours, especially when they cast it like 150 meters out. So this is just suitable to catch the regular species. And the hook size I would use is between 3 to 5 bar, and that's with a Black Magic Coyote hook or with a DX point hook. Now the reel is spooled with 30-pound braid, and I'm using a running rig on this one, a running clip that is, and I have a 60-pound Black Magic tough trace. Connected that with the Wasabi snap swivel. So this is setup number 1. Now this is my second setup here. I consider this to be my medium to heavy setup. Now this is a carbolet rod, 14-foot, 3-piece, 8 to 15 kilos, rated between 3 to 6 ounces. Now this is slightly heavier and 14-foot, extra longer, and what I like about this rod at the moment is it has these K-series guides, and also I forgot to mention on the Shadow X, it has a low guide profile, so it's specifically designed to cast with braid, so that when the braid casts out, especially light, it goes into like a tornado, and that kind of flushes through that, so that prevents the wind knots from happening. This guide, the K guides, are specifically designed for prevent braid from being tangled around, because normal guides in the past, what happened was that it used to wrap around the guides, but this design prevents it from happening. But I had odd incidents where my FG knot got wedged between this edge, then got caught and snapped my leader off and bent it out this guide and had my knot. Oh, someone's firing a cannon. That's impressive. Yeah, and I had my knot wrapped around here, which was really frustrating. But enough of that. This rod, again, I've got a 5-ounce sinker attached to a snap swivel with a 60-pound Black Magic tough trace, and here I've got a speed cast spooled with 30-pound braid. Now I know I said that I use 30-pound on this, and I'm using a 5-ounce. Now this rod, because it has an extra stiffness to it, and I also forgot to mention, this gear is super lightweight, which is what I like about this. And the reason why I'm using this setup is because I want to target that bigger fish out in the surf. but I want to get that extra distance. So if I'm fishing in like a rough area like the west coast or shallow beaches, or if I have to cast out further in order to get to the deeper water, like in this spot here, this 30-pound braid will give me that better advantage. So realistically speaking, this would be my medium setup that I would use for long distance fishing. Now another cool thing about this reel is that I'll demonstrate right here. It has that slow oscillation system. Like, as you can see, it's going very slowly. I'll just demonstrate it a bit better. Lock this out. So as you can see, the line flies, like, because of the slow oscillation system, the line is more wind up more evenly. So as you can see, if I slowly wind here, you can see on that orange line that spool is going up slowly, which allows that braid to neatly sit on each other, so that when it flies off, it will fly off far more evenly. Oh well, it's okay. Also, this reel has 20 kilos of drag, which I'm using 30-pound braid, so by having that extra capacity on the drag, I'll be able to have a silky smooth drag when I hook onto a big fish. But in saying that, this rod is very powerful. It's so powerful that I was able to land several good sharks on this setup already. Now, my final setup is what I would consider to be my heavy duty setup. This is my most extreme surfcasting outfit here. It's a South African style Assassin Evo with the Ultegra from Shimano. Now this is my medium. I guess this is my true medium to heavy duty style of gear, because this gear is super powerful. Like this rod, here's the rating, between 40 to 50 pounds, and the recommended weight sinker is between 6 to 8 ounce. As you can see, this is quite strong, and yeah, it performs extremely well. Again, it has a K guide, which what I like about, and just like the speed cast, this Ultegra has the same slow oscillation system. It has 20 kilos of drag, which is more than enough to land a shark on. Now, I'm using 60-pound braid on this, and I'm using 60-pound monoliter Black Magic Tough Trace, and I'm using 50-pound braid. And this is my perfect heavy-duty setup. Great to use if I'm fishing in a rough terrain, or if I want to target big sharks, like inedible species like sharks or rays, or if I just want to land any regular fish. Like this rod here, this Assassin rod, is perfect for big fish and edible fish. Like it has that enough sensitivity in order to detect it. Now the difference about this rod is that it has a short butt, and also the cool thing about this rod is that it has a bionic finger, so that instead of using a finger to cast, you're putting a line here, and this trigger is basically you holding the finger, the line, and when you let that go, that releases a line, and that will prevent you from having to cut your finger while casting, or having to readjust yourself on teaching yourself on how to cast with your left hand instead of your right, because most of us have learned how to cast with our right hand, let go of our right hand, that is. And the good thing about this is that instead of having a reel seat all the way up here, which is sometimes very uncomfortable, and instead of having to put the rods between your legs, is that you can fight the fish like this, and you can just pull as hard as you can, and your right hand is not too exhausted, and you can just wind down like this. So yeah, these are my 3 advanced setups that I have, and that I'll be featuring from now on. I guess I'm no longer basic fishing when it comes to surfcasting anymore, but nevertheless my surfcasting adventure has been wild. I've been going more surfcasting nowadays than I have wharf fishing. Anyway, I hope everyone has enjoyed watching this video, and if you have, please like and subscribe for more fishing videos. And yeah, make sure that if you want to learn how to surfcast, check out my tutorials on what surfcasting gears you need in order to make the most out of your opportunities. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope this is a different video from what I usually do, but I hope that this gives some better perspectives on what type of gears are out there, because there always will be better types of gear out there. Like my old Earlex reel, as well as the Beastmaster, doesn't have the slow oscillation system, but it's perfect for like a regular distance or regular size fish, whereas this is extreme for distance and for big fish. So yeah, let's see where my next adventure will take me.